bit seasoned. You've made a habit of coming here against the odds and winning. How do you assess that performance as a whole?
Yeah, like again, proud of the guys. You know, like the FIBA break offered some time to put in some new things and refresh some heavy legs, reevaluate some things that we wanted to put a bit of weight on. So again, it's good that we were able to come into Illawarra, which is always a tough venue and a tough matchup. And get the win. It was a bit shaky for there. That one stretch was a little bit shaky, but again, group effort. If I can single out like little things that make a difference, which is like the 1%ers that when we talk about winning is, the offensive rebound that KG got with the putback two, but that started with Stat getting that little tap in to initiate the loose ball. Lockie boxing out one on the defensive end to tap out to be able to get Sko to pick it up. It's all the little things, that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. And when you got guys down, sometimes, you need that type of adversity to, really knuckle up and have to play every possession because, you can fall in love with the idea of just getting some guys the ball and spectate. We can't spectate now. And I think across the board, everybody, had to contribute. It wasn't like they had to step outside themselves. They just played their game naturally. So it was good. And again, I can go back on the tape and find, I feel like, another dozen examples of the little things that get missed that at some point everybody did. Mo Mag's verticality right at the end of the half. I'm happy.
But it wasn't just missing a few pieces. You were missing arguably your biggest piece on top of a few other significant ones. And you've lost 11 in your last 12. So what did you say pre-game to make the team believe they could win tonight? Because most people didn't think you could.
I'll just give it a crack. They're all professionals, and with adversity comes opportunity, and so you can either watch from the sideline and someone else take that opportunity, or you can try and grasp it yourself. And the good thing is now is when we got guys coming back, and this is one thing I always sort of said, and this is what we had again. The Adelaide game in Adelaide, we lost in overtime. That felt like one we let slip, and there's a few throughout the season we felt like we let a few slip. But even with Wardenberg out, we wanted to make sure that we weren't just sitting here and going, okay, we'll wait till Wardenberg comes back for us to get these wins. We wanted to level up in a lot of areas. We're behind the 8 ball in terms of that win-loss column, but I don't think we need to look at that. We just need to look at the old cliche, one game at a time. For us, it's relevant. So I felt like they did that tonight, and now we'll rest and fly back and get back on court, and we got one game again at home against the Jack Jumpers.
Kody, how big is that win feel given you go home for the next two with a nice space in between each? You'll get Jack back, you'll get Sam back. How big was tonight?
Yeah, huge. Obviously the FIBA break, I think a lot of us were able to refresh our brains and stuff like that, and coming into tonight we played our asses off, and we rebounded the ball really well and stuff like that. So I think going forward our momentum's completely changed and our mindset's completely changed. So I think going into the next 2 home games we're going to come out ready to play and really give it a crack.
And what does it say when you pull down 51 rebounds to 40, 16 O-boards to 11?
Yeah, group effort. Everyone got on it. Like, it wasn't just one dude, and it was great seeing Sko and KG get a double-double. But everybody got a rebound that stepped on the court. And, aside from Drew, everyone got an O-board, right? And I think Drew can be excused for not getting an O-board because he virtually was doing everything else. But, again, it's hard work, right? You got to do the little things. That's what separates, winning and losing is if you wanted to get your hands dirty. And everybody did.
Well, last time you guys played the Hawks, you had success playing small man, but small in terms of McGetty, but I thought Marcus Lee did really well against McGetty tonight.
Yeah, we tried to do some rotations, knowing what that looked like. I thought KG did a great job as well. And then there was a stretch where we put Sko onto him. So, it was 3 different types of defenders that offer 3 different types of looks defensively. Yeah, I agree. He was great. He didn't foul out.
I think, again, you shot the ball extremely well from the outside.
Yeah, we wanted to find that balance. We knew at the start if we had KG and SCO, we could stretch it and sort of draw McGee out of the keyway. We hit some, and then we probably started shooting one too many, and then we wanted to get more of a focus getting on the rim, and we did a good job. I felt like tonight was probably one of the first games where we had a good balance of inside, outside, and getting to the foul line. It was, and again, full credit to Drew, just sort of steering that and putting the ball where it needed to go.
He seemed to run it. He was another player who played really well. He seemed to sort of dictate the style of play. You guys played slow or quick, however you wanted to.
Yeah, we want to play slow. That's sort of our, Jack is a half-court type of weapon. Wardenberg's going to offer another dimension with that as well. But Drew, with all his experience playing in Europe, he's really good just in terms of orchestrating the offense. So we don't want to play fast, which has been our history. We sort of want to go about being a bit more calculated, and that's why there's a lot of shots out at the end of the shot clock, but they're great looks. Again, I can't praise Drew enough that he's always been capable of this and finding his level of comfort within the league and the team and everything else. I think tonight was just an example of exactly what his game is like.
So his highest score of 50% in the field and threes. Do you consider that his best game of the season, and what might he be able to do off the back of that now? Do you hope?
He's capable of doing that. Yeah, again, he came late, so it's hard. He didn't necessarily maybe get the hype early on because we had a different point guard lined up in the preseason. You just got to look at his CV to recognise what type of player he is. He's a guy that's played in other leagues where, imports who have done well here have played in those leagues and averaged half the numbers that he has, and that's obviously not always a true indicator of the impact they make in the NBL. But, for a guy that came to us late and got thrown straight into the deep end, he's fully capable of doing that, and I hope we just can continue to provide him those opportunities to showcase what he's capable of.
So on Thursday, Vegas cutting it from 20 and sending it into overtime. In that fourth quarter, when it did get to 6 points, were you worried?
Oh yeah, no, because it was us. Even coming out of a timeout, we drew up a press breaker, then we turned it over, and Illawarra were even late getting to defense. I think the moment the game was on the line, panic starts to kick in. And even me, I started getting a little bit more aggressive in my tone. And, sometimes guys can respond to that, sometimes they can't. I think the moment when the game was sort of in the balance, it took us a while to, settle and weather the storm. But you build mental reps from that. And so to come out here with a win, you still want to keep that fresh, and that's what film review would be. So again, as we have another 15 games to go this season, there'll be another examples of that where we can reference what we needed to do and how we got ourselves out of a hole. It's always easy to teach those things after a win. It's always terrible after a loss.
From a player perspective, how do you click back into that? Get yourself back on track?
I think it's just trusting your ability and stuff like that. I think, I turned the ball over there at one stage when they turned the pressure up a little bit. I think I travelled, and I think it's just locking back in and trusting yourself and your teammates and your ability, and I think that really helps.
Okay, you did finish with the second highest plus minus for Kings, plus 17. So when you were out there before, how did you feel about the team's performance, and what did you notice tonight that maybe hadn't been there for the last couple of months?
I think we just played really hard. We limited them to one shot, we rebounded it really well. We kind of were physical, I think, as well. And I think that's probably something that we did kind of lack in the past, watching film and stuff like that. We weren't really the most physical team, so I think we really did that well tonight, and I think they kind of felt that, and I think that's why we blew out the lead a little bit, and yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
Obvious question, but how good does it feel to be back out on the court at 2-4 win? Because I'm sure it's been a frustrating couple of months having to watch on, knowing that there would have been opportunities out there for you if you were healthy.
Yeah, no, it felt really good. I still felt a little bit rusty. It's been, I think I missed 7 games or something, but no, it felt really good to be back out there and contributing to the team and just playing really hard and doing whatever I can to get wins and stuff like that. So no, yeah, it felt really good.
pretty happy to be wearing those Space Jam uniforms?
Yeah, they were pretty full on, which is funny, but no, they look cool. I bet they look cool on TV as well.
No, they did. Forde, if a player's going to miss a game, Jack's got the best possible reason, so hopefully everything's going well with the rivalry's first trial. But it's nice to have somebody, I guess, when he's not through injury, and hopefully he's back next week. And Sam and Rain on track for next Sunday?
Rain, no. So Rain's is a little bit more tricky. We're probably looking more into the new year, potentially longer. But Wardenberg's on track, and Daddy Jack should be good to go for the home game against Jack Jumpers.
Is he a daddy? Touchdown?
Oh, I don't know. It's not my news. I made that mistake one time. My brother told me, that they were expecting twins, and I announced it before he could, and he was pretty upset with me. So I'm very conscious that I don't announce anyone else's news.
No, this isn't the place to do it. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful.
Well played, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it, everyone.